I'm casting my mind back now and thinking about it, and I straight away in my mind I went yes, because a lot has happened. Life throws a lot of things at you, and I think I've still got similar things, but I definitely appreciate things around me more, and I appreciate my life, other people around me, their lives, and every day. I've definitely, one of the biggest things that happened for me was just saying yes more, being open. I've always felt I was, but definitely there was moments where I felt that before maybe I was holding back a little bit, and I've definitely been much more open to saying yes, being a bit more spontaneous than I was before. And yeah, so, and also just a bit more, I've always prided myself on like being positive, but I've also understood how important it is that it's okay when things aren't that positive, and to recognize what I learn from those moments and take them forward with me. And they make those positive moments even more important. So yeah, definitely the mindset for myself has definitely changed. And that is not just from about personal, it's also through my work and my relationships and with my family. I think my thoughts have changed in a variety of different ways, really. I started to do more of a journal because I felt I needed it. And you have moments where you're able to focus on you. And at that point, I think I really needed something like that. The journal gave me time to write things down, to look back at them, to reflect on things, and actually seeing sometimes something written down. It also encouraged you to draw, to doodle. I found that it was really interesting, some of the things that were coming out for myself, and I've carried it on. I'm still doing a journal. And I've just found that that has helped my thoughts, sometimes to organise my thoughts a bit more, sometimes to recognise those negative thoughts and get rid of those thoughts. Sometimes it's just to make more of those positive thoughts. So I definitely, I've recognised with my thoughts that I'm aware of my own mental health and others around me and how things affect you. And I've found that one of the things that's helped me is by doing a journal. And it's definitely something I think I'll continue doing, and writing those things down, sometimes just at the last bit before you go to bed, being able to say, leave it out of my mind and then deal with it in the morning. Yeah. Gosh, it's a really good question about people's mindsets, because I'm doing interviews myself at the moment with some young people, and it's just about trying to, you know, gauge how they're dealing with the lockdown and not being in schools. And there's a variety of different things that are coming out from it. Everyone kind of starts off saying, we're okay, I'm dealing with it. And then when you start to have more of a conversation and more things come out, everyone has had similar experiences of very up and down feelings and thoughts and emotions. And I think we've all kind of learned to help each other, to voice some of those concerns and voice some of those things that you're worried about, or when you have a bad day. I've definitely learned to kind of go, you know, not with it today, or not to voice it to my family. And I think one of the things that people have started to learn and to take on board is, what is it that they do that helps them when they are feeling like that, when they're feeling down, when they're not as motivated as they were. And it's quite surprising that some people's mindset has helped them to be able to start looking at, and it is quite funnily, creativity, taking up a new skill, taking up a musical instrument, drawing, painting. It might be something that's about games and activities, about things together. I'm really surprised about the fact that people have started to realise that how important those things are. So people's mindsets are definitely changing, and I think people are recognising how important it is, their health and well-being, their mental health and well-being, and what things they can do when things aren't going really that well. And people are still finding out stuff for themselves, definitely like I am as well. Oh, well-being and health is definitely just taking care of you, putting you at the center of things. I've definitely learned that. Putting you at the center of things. If you are not well, if you are not able to take care of yourself, you cannot take care of other people around you. And that's why I think there's lots of things over time that I've learned about. It's reminded me and, you know, again, made me stop and think and question and do something about it. You know, because life throws lots of different things at you, you know, sudden deaths, illness, someone that's having a prolonged illness, you know, care of elderly parents. There's lots of things that kind of are thrown at you that make you go, it's so important. Your self-care is first and paramount. And I'm definitely learned that when I cannot give anymore, you have to be honest, stop and say, no, let me deal with me and what I need now. Nourish myself, whether that is with food, whether or not that is with water, whether that is with about being with friends and talking about things or writing things down, but doing something that's going to help you, or just doing nothing, because that's one of the biggest things sometimes, is just doing nothing. It's great. Sometimes just lying there and giving yourself permission to just be. And I don't mean that in a kind of like twee way of like, oh, be. No. Why can't we sometimes just stop and just be still and enjoy quiet, walking, nature? Definitely think we've all recognised even more how important the greenery around us is, and just having time to just listen to those birds, even though they are noisy now, but taking time to just be. So yeah, definitely health and well-being starts with you, and then hopefully it radiates out to other people around you, because that will brush off on them. If you're feeling good, if you're able to deal with things, you can then also offer help and support to others. But you can't drain yourself completely. You have to be there ready to look after yourself first, and that will then pass on to other people. Oh, I think I have been telling people about this. I am loving my online Zumba classes. Absolutely. And I love the little group that's kind of like been built up, who has started with this particular group at the beginning of lockdown. That has been like, it's 3 times a week, and they also provide videos you can do in your own time. But I've thoroughly enjoyed, on a Monday morning, 10 o'clock, I'm doing my Zumba. Wednesday evening, 6:30, Zumba. A Friday or a Saturday evening or the afternoon, I'll do my Zumba. And each time I kind of like build up, because sometimes something else comes up, and I'm really trying not to stop myself and go, no, because I've got to do my Zumba classes. It lifts me. I feel supported with it. I feel really, really good with it. My girls are really happy that, you know, I'm doing it. They can see the difference in me. And I want to be able to continue this once the lockdown's finished, going for walks more. Still having aches and pains, but it's making me go, no, let me deal with this about my aches and pains as I'm getting older. I've also trying my hardest is changing the way that some of the things that I'm eating. And funny enough, last night we were watching something, and they were talking about being a vegan, and Georgina, one of my daughters, she's kind of like she was a vegetarian for a very long time, and started eating meat again. And she's definitely been in the last year talking about, no, I think I'm going to be giving up. And we were all sat here just talking about it, saying, we don't eat a lot of meat, but we definitely could do less. And we're all going, I think I want to even eat less meat. I don't know. There's things that are making me think about how I feed my body, what I'm putting in, what things I'm cooking myself and not using all the time, you know, processed things. So we're enjoying cooking a bit more, cooking together, cooking at home. I think that's important. Those kind of things of looking at what you're actually putting in your body is important, because we all have moments where, and I still do, there's things that I put in that aren't that good. But as much as you can, I try to drink lots of water, start my morning with my lemon and warm water, or my peppermint tea. Yeah, just what I'm feeding myself, but also physically what I'm doing. I think all of that helps with my health and well-being. Wow, strength and resilience. I think for me, I'll start with strength, really. I think there's always been a little bit of a misunderstanding, I think, that black women are strong. Strong black women, and that's what you've got to stand up to, and that's what you've got to live up to. And yes, there are things that are particularly that black women will do and fight through, but it doesn't mean that that's all we are. And I realised for myself, even when people used to say that to me, you know, I've never really taken it on board and said, you know, that's totally what I identify as, because there is strength in lots of different ways, not just being this person that stands up for things or whatever. There is strength in your convictions, the way that you live your life, the way that you treat other people, the way that you try and encourage and support others to do whatever they're doing, to strive for their particular thing that they're involved in, to do the best that they can, to be the best person that they can. And that's a lot of strength as well. It shouldn't be just matched in the fact of someone saying that, you know, you're this strong woman and that's what you need to do. With resilience, I think resilience is something that's ongoing all the time for everybody, I think. I don't think there's anything wrong sometimes when you do have a slip in that resilience to keep going. Because I think even when you feel that something takes you a step back, something pushes you further on. The strength or the inner strength that you've got, or the inner strength around you, supports you and helps you and nurtures you towards that goal that you need to go to or get through, or the challenge or the hurdle. It pushes you on, and you build up new resilience. I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that you can build up new resilience all the time because of things that happen in your life, people that you come across, something that you've read that makes you rethink the way that you were thinking, and it helps you to build up new resilience in completely different ways. So I think with resilience, I think I've learned it's something that is definitely ongoing all the time, and you'll keep building on it. Even if you do have a slip, it's fine, because something will propel you forward again. You'll pick up something, some support, some knowledge, understanding, and be able to carry on. First and foremost, and I'll just go with my gut, what you just said in my head, is my kids, is my children, my 3 daughters. My first strength comes from them. I know I try to do the best that I can for them. I've always tried to do that. Not going for, I'm the perfect parent. No way. Not interested in me at all. But what I can try to do is to try and do my best, to encourage them to do their best. And I want them to be able to say, you know, I'm proud of my mum, but I'm proud of what I'm doing as well as a result of being a part of her life. That strength that they give me sometimes when even I feel I'm lacking my own kind of confidence is amazing. And I saw that when I went back to university, and they were very little at the time, but still, they were very much a strength that anchored me when things didn't go right, when things were wrong, ups and downs along the way. Just thinking about them and thinking about what I want to be able to offer them for their lives, even as they're growing now and being, you know, grown up people. I've got one daughter that's, you know, she's a young woman. That strength definitely pushes me on. And my other strength, what I draw from, is my mum and just my family, the background, how we've grown up, those foundations. We've always worked hard. The ethos has been there, that work ethic. We've always, and I've tried to do that the same with my children. If you can't have something, it doesn't matter. You try and make sure that you can bit by bit save, put it down. We were just talking the other day, Georgina's going to, because she's moved back home, she's going to get a bed for herself, and it's about, when am I going to do it? Well, I'm going to put this down. And I said, it's wonderful for me to see that those kind of foundations are there. You don't have to be like some people are, putting themselves out by actually trying to get something. it feels so much better when you're able to actually say, I worked for that to achieve that. Then I just got it, just like that. So my mum, our foundations, the way that we were brought up, the values that we have are important and have a particular strength to them as well. And my final thing, I would say, is my faith. I'm not a go out there and tell people this and that, whatever, but my inner kind of strength, spirituality is very important to me. And it's something that I've definitely seen me through many a times when I felt, oh, I just need that anchor, that rock. And that's helped me through. My biggest challenge was when my sister passed away. It's about 3 years now. Unbelievable that it is. And I think that was my biggest test. Still find it difficult. And it was on that situation where you think, okay, something like this happens, and it is sudden, because it was unexpected. But I've always tended to bounce back. It was one of the biggest things for me. I was like, wow, this thing hit me and I didn't bounce back. I wasn't me. It scared me, definitely scared me. And it's funny because I kept holding on to the fact of this is not like me, this is not like me. Yeah, I normally bounce back. And then the moment when I actually realised, which again was my girls, it made me realise I just wasn't coping. And I actually decided, you know what, I need to do something about it. One was to stop working, and I stopped, same day. And two was to get some help. And I went to see my doctor, and absolutely, I was very lucky, supportive, who just listened. And I then told friends. I did exactly what you should do. I told friends, I told people around me, I told them how I was feeling. I told them that I'm not dealing with all of this really well. I'm trying to support my mum, who obviously this was a big thing, a major thing for her. But I can't support her because I can't support myself completely. So I had to do it more practically, supporting her, than anything of that kind of emotional side. And I got help from my doctor. I was referred for counselling at work. I did take some medication. I was very resistant about that, but it was the best thing that finally I did. And I just stopped. I just stopped for a while and just took time. That's when my writing and doing a journal and writing about things started to happen for me. But yeah, that was a very hard thing to come from. When I look back now, I still, obviously, I get moments, you just get moments where it's there. But I also don't ever want to go back to how I felt. And I understand more now. My counsellor, when she said to me, it's literally the moment where the light bulb goes on and you think, I get it now, because I don't understand why I'm not dealing with this. I don't understand why I'm not bouncing back like I normally do. Something happens, Lorrine still carries on. And I couldn't understand why I wasn't able to do it. And she just said these words. She says, your heart is broken. It's hurting. Your head hasn't caught up yet. And those two things need to be working together. You need to heal this first. And then maybe those things will start to fall into place a bit more. And slowly, over time, it's exactly what was happening. The more I dealt with what was going on here, I just didn't know how to do it, didn't know how to express it. And definitely with that counselling, and the counselling was, I was very lucky again. I got a counsellor that was so good. Not telling you what to do, just listening and then supporting you and guiding you on this journey back, so that you could actually feel that I can do normal things. I'd never had panic attacks in my life. I was having panic attacks. Couldn't go into shops, couldn't go out the house. Never had anything like that happen in my life at all. and friends supported me step by step, the girls as well, till I could actually start doing those things again. And I think when something like that happens to you and you realise, it is very easy for people to give up then. But I think, again, like I've said before, it's that support around you. It's okay to have a blip, but then it's about something else propels you forward. And I know my sister wouldn't want me to just go to doom and gloom. She'd want me to be living. And that's another thing that's kind of gone to me, spurred you on. Live your life. Every day, be thankful, be grateful. Too many things. I always say to people, too many things to be thankful for. Too many things. And that's what makes me smile. That's what makes me go, you know, poof. There's a lot of awful things that happen in the world, definitely. But there's also a hell of a lot of lovely things that are happening. And we need to celebrate those things just as much. I suppose they're connected in the sense of the journeys that all of us go through in our lives, and different stages in our life, different ages in our lives. Not just about you on the outside, but it's about what's going on the inside. And I think sometimes maybe we don't stop and kind of really consider some of those things and how they just kind of connect together, marry together to make us the person that we are. Maybe because we just take it for granted and kind of like just, yeah, it's my body and it's my mind, and don't actually really take on everything. So for me, it's acknowledging a lot of those things that are happening internally, mentally, physically, emotionally, and being able to sometimes put them into words. As I said, you put them into a doodle, a picture, a painting, a movement, a drama scene. And what you can actually achieve by maybe sharing some of those things with other people that don't have to feel that they have to sit there and think they're on their own. I know, as I said to you all, very much I felt I couldn't talk to, I didn't want to tell anybody how I was feeling. And then as soon as I started to, it felt so much better. You know, it felt so much better. And I think maybe it is even more. I've said this to people, we need to talk about death more, and to young people. And we definitely need to talk about mental health and well-being more, and how important it is. But yeah. I think people are getting more understanding of it and the importance of it. And I think we're better at maybe spotting when somebody is not feeling 100%, or something's not quite right, or someone just needs to take some time and look after themselves for a bit. I think definitely we're learning to do that more. We're doing it more I know with my group of friends, we definitely do that for each other all the time. We remind each other to do that. In the community as a whole, I think there's definitely, especially the younger generation, and I would say one of the communities I talk about is the Black community. The younger generation have definitely got a more better handle on things to do with mental health and well-being. There's still more work that needs to be done, but they've definitely got a better handle of it and how to deal with things. And in some cases, where to go for help, and, you know, even prompting themselves to ask for them for help as well. Older communities, still, it's a struggle. And especially when we start to talk about the later, older, very older community, dementia and things like that is still still a stigma to it. I don't know, there still is. Still lack of information, lack of services, or where people pointing people in the direction for services. So I think more of those things need to come out. But it's definitely, there's change happening, but there's still work that needs to be done within those communities. But as a whole, I think we are seeing more on TV, adverts, radio, podcasts. People are talking about it. People are being open about it. Celebrities, sometimes young people, especially a celebrity saying something about and opening up is a real eye-opener for them, to make them think, wow, I can identify with that. And I think the more that this happens, the more that we're able to do this, it'll be really important and make things a lot better for everybody. any community. I think the last time when I did this interview, it was really an eye-opener when I went and listened to myself. And I probably am going to feel the same way when I do this, but it also makes me realise how far I've come myself, and the things that I really cherish in my life, and how that balance of my health and well-being, how important it is to me. So thank you for asking me to do it again. And I'm sure, as I said, there's going to be much more that I've got to learn, and the journey that I'm still going to continue with.